Are we starting?
We can.
Oh, okay. Hi, welcome to Just Say Julie with Benny Lawrence and me, Julie Brown. This is our second of our...
Wait, can we restart?
Yeah. Just say Julie, ba ba ba, yeah. Hi, welcome back to Just Say Julie, starring me, Julie Brown, and Benny Lawrence. This is the second of our second group of podcasts.
Yes.
We stopped the podcast we were originally doing because we got too much work. Benny had a series of jobs, and so we had to stop. I just was tired from the pandemic and other things. And, here's Obi, by the way, who's licking his balls. So thanks for that. Anyway, we're so happy you're tuning in, and people have written to me that they like the podcast, which I love. And when I was in Columbus, people were telling me how much they like the podcast, and they especially love the Mensa thing that we set up. So we're going to do that next week for sure. So please subscribe, because I guess we get more money later if you subscribe. So this is the podcast, episode 2 of the second version.
I think you mentioned Columbus, so why don't you give a plug to your upcoming events?
Oh, right. I'm going to be doing ToonCon. I think that's the name of it, in Pasadena on...
I'll just put the date.
October 9th.
Okay.
9th. So it's in Pasadena, and I'm going to be signing autographs as my cartoon character voice, which is Minerva Mink and Zatanna from Batman, and Julie Bruin when I was a bear, and I did a Pinky in the Brain, and man, it's hard to remember now.
That sounds great.
I want to do it again. I don't know why. I guess because I was at MTV, I got a lot of action on the commercial front, but I love doing it. It's so fun.
And you're going to Germany.
I'm going to Germany for a horror con in December. I'm really excited because we're going to a city called Dortmund, which is one of the biggest Christmas markets in the world. Like, Germany has these Christmas markets where everything's all Christmas, and I'm really excited. So I'm gonna go. I wish you could go with me.
Well, wishes can come true.
Well, maybe that will happen, and then we'll have to tape the show in Dortmund or something like that.
Well, because there's a town that I'm named after.
What?
Spiker, Germany.
Oh,
Speicha.
Yeah, Speicha. That's her real last name.
Yeah.
Speicha?
Speicha.
Speicha. Oh my God, how great would that be to go and find like your old relatives or something?
That happened once when we went to Amish Town, Pennsylvania.
You're Amish too?
Yes.
What happened?
I don't know the story of like how that migration happened, but we went to Amish Town, Pennsylvania. We hop in a horse and carriage buggy, and we go, "Oh, what's your name?" And he goes, "Oh, my name's," I forget his first name, but he goes, "My name's Spiker." And we go, "Our name is Spiker. We, whatever, we're related." And then he goes, at the end of the whole thing, he goes, "Can I get your phone number?" And I was like, "How do you have a phone? Aren't you Amish?" And he goes, "I break the rules."
Oh,
and I was like,
Amish.
We're related.
Was he hot?
No!
Okay, plus he's your brother, so
exactly.
You gotta okay, sorry. That's really weird. You're right. He was asking, knowing that he was related to you somehow. Ew. That's really weird.
Yeah.
But kind of a fun, weird experience.
Yeah.
And he wasn't hot anyway. Okay.
No.
I know. I've never seen a hot Amish guy. I'm sure they exist. They have to exist. But
could you? That would be like the sexiest thing ever.
I know,
like
right?
a hot, ripped Amish dude who
oh my God. He takes his shirt off and he just goes and builds a barn.
that I literally have goosebumps. I legitimately.
I know. I would so love to see that. It'd be so great. Speaking of that, we were talking the other day I was talking about Madonna, and I was explaining to Benny that when I was doing my record, which was also on Sire Records, which was also Madonna's label, I was going around with the publicist, trying to get DJs to play my record. And it was so freaking hard. I mean, she'd drive me to a club and she'd be like, "Okay, go in and, introduce me to the DJ." And I'd say, "Will you play my record?" He's like, "Yeah, whatever." And it was one of those things like you're trying to sell something to somebody door to door. That's how it felt. And I said to the woman, I go, "This is so hard. Like, how did Madonna do it?" She goes, Well, Madonna did what she had to do. So, to me, that was code for blowjobs for DJs, right? And I'm like, oh my God, that makes so much sense because I can't deal with these guys. But Madonna just doesn't care. She's like, sure, why not? And then Benny said she's in the middle of trying to get financing for her film, Moonblood, which we're going to put it in the credits and you can donate to it. She said, oh yeah, I'd blow somebody to get the movie financed. And I go, what, would you really? And she goes, yeah. I go, like just anybody. And she said, pretty much. And then we started going through the list of people. I said, would you blow Newt Gingrich? And what did you say?
I said it depends on how much money he'd be willing to give.
What if he was going to finance the whole thing?
Just the rest of it, or give me what I like, the number I want. So I would get.
What's the number that you really want?
Well, we need 22,000 in order to get it
Yeah.
at all because it's on a Kickstarter and has a deadline.
Okay, what do you really want?
50.
Okay, so say that Newt Gingrich calls you up and says, I got $50,000 for your movie if you give me a blowjob. Are you kidding? Oh
I'd say you got it. Write the check.
Oh my God. Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the tricky part.
Mm-hmm.
Do you give him a blowjob first or he writes the
No,
check?
he has to write the check and the check has to go through.
So while you're waiting for the check to clear the bank, you don't give him the blowjob.
No,
it's like
no.
once you get the notice that the check
Yeah.
has cleared the bank. Wow.
Yeah, because I'm not giving Newt Gingrich a blowjob for like a bounced check.
That would make you feel like such a
Could
fool.
you? Oh.
No, then you do it. That was the stupidest thing I ever did.
Yeah.
Okay, let's think of other people. Mike Pompeo.
Never heard of him. It's a yes.
Mike was the Secretary of State
Okay.
during. This is what I deal with because he's so young. Like the other day, I think we maybe talked about it in the last podcast. You didn't know who ABBA was?
Oh,
You're
no,
like,
we didn't
"Oh."
talk about that. We haven't
Okay.
talked about that.
All right. I said,
Still don't know who
Don't
it
you
is.
wish you could sing like ABBA? And she said, who's that? And I was horrified.
I think that's a bad name for a band, personally.
Well, it's worked for them. I don't know how many millions of records they've sold. And then I started singing ABBA songs. And she's like, oh yeah, Mamma Mia. So anyway, Mike Pompeo, he's slimmed down. But he used to be a chunky Secretary of State who was, I think, completely amoral, even though he started to say Donald Trump sucks. You can't visualize him. Okay, I got to picture somebody you can visualize. George Bush.
Yeah, for sure.
George Bush. Okay, Trump. Don't say yes. Don't say yes. I will have to not be your friend. Don't give that man any pleasure. No pleasure for Trump.
It has to be a blowjob?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I
Okay,
could.
thank you. You heard it there first. No blowjobs for projects.
I don't think I could.
No,
do
you
Trump.
couldn't because I feel you would have betrayed everyone. if
That
you
honestly,
did.
do you know what? You said that and I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Okay. That's the correct
Yeah.
response. Your body is telling you, don't
Yeah.
do it. Don't do it.
My throat says, mm-mm.
Okay. Can you imagine how many girls have experienced that with him? So many.
Oh.
And where's Melania's gag reflex? I'd like to know.
There's no way she gives him blowjobs.
Well, she probably used to. I bet she doesn't do it anymore at all.
No way. No way
No.
she goes near him.
No, she probably, and like, what can he do about it? He
Yeah.
can't divorce her because that's, well, political suicide. He's already committed political suicide, 10 times. But it makes it worse.
Yeah.
He divorces Melania because a lot of the MAGA people, they love Melania because she looks like a porn star. So she's perfect.
Classic.
Classic. So he's not going to divorce Melania. So she just has to go, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And he has to go get a hooker or whatever horrible thing that he does. Oh my God. I
Yikes.
can't even think about it.
Fortune telling.
Okay, we went and got a reading today at the Green Man, which is our favorite occult witchy store on Lancashire.
And we did it for you.
We did it for you. We wanted material and content for the podcast. Plus, we love these kind of things, so it's not that big a stretch.
It wasn't a burden.
No. So we went and we booked rune readings. I mean, I didn't know it was a rune reading.
I didn't know it was a rune reading either.
So, and rune is the Viking symbols. So we get there. I go upstairs with him, and he asks me some questions, and he starts reading. He said that what we're going to cover is my career and my love life. That was my decision, and I kind of didn't understand the rune readings. You did?
I mean,
a little bit. I didn't completely. He lays cards out really fast, and he shuffles them really fast, and he said that my ex-husband, it might have worked out if we had done an uncrossing spell, which I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. And he told me I have been way too guarded, which I think is true, because I told him, I go, I don't like anybody. I go, I've been on dates. I don't like anybody. He goes, you're guarding yourself. You're not open. So I'm going to try to be more open. Even though I'm not exactly sure how to do that, I think you just say, I'm going to be more open, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's like the ick factor we were talking about.
Yeah.
Because whenever I sometimes see a new guy, I kind of have all of these reasons where he's like icky. But I guess being more open would be maybe trying to get through, maybe not thinking everyone's so icky. I don't know.
It's hard though, because if you feel that way about somebody, how do you like when you're blowing Newt Gingrich, how will you get over the ick factor?
For that situation in particular, I think I would go full-blown dissociation.
Yeah, dissociate and be somewhere else, be in Hawaii while you're doing it. The thing is, you can't do that if you're trying to date somebody. I just have to go, I have to sort of in my mind, because it's my expectation. My expectation is that everybody's going to be a dodo. I have to not do that. I have to go, I'm going to meet someone wonderful, which is what you're supposed to put out there in life anyway. So I'm going to try to do that more and be more open. And he's like, he was saying to me, he goes, do you believe you can fall in love again? And I'm like, he goes, say yes or no. And I'm like, yes. He didn't do that to you?
Well,
say yes or no or something like that?
He did the say yes or no, but he didn't say that.
Yeah, he was kind of being like a televangelist with me. And I was like, yes. So I'm going to try to be more open. I think that's hard for me, actually, because I know, because I think I'm kind of jaded, and I've met a lot of dum-dums, and it's hard. So, but I'm going to really make an effort to realize that, of course, there's going to be a nice person out there. Then, as far as my career, he goes, okay, acting. I go, I'm an actress and a writer. He goes, I could see that. And I go, okay. And he goes, which one do you want to pick? I go, it's very hard to pick one of them. I go, well, let's go with writing for now. And he goes, okay, what are you writing? And I go, television and film. And I just wrote a book. And he goes, okay, you have to settle on a genre. So it was so many, what is it, borders, so many things he was trying to get me to do. And I don't know how to settle on a genre right now. So it was not that easy. He liked it. He got really happy when I make a big decision. I go, yes, I will fall in love again. But, I couldn't do that with everything. Because I really like acting and writing. And I've done both and will continue to. So it's hard to go, I pick this, maybe just for right now, pick one thing. But anyway, so I left going, okay, I liked him. He was a really sweet guy, really nice. I don't know what information I got. So now you talk about yourself.
Interesting. Well, and I will also add, because I saw you walk out of your reading, and when you walked out, I feel like I hadn't seen you so refreshed in, honestly, years.
Wow. Well, it was my post-pandemic reading.
Yeah.
I feel good. I just go, what information did I get? I don't know. But I will be more open. He goes, I'm not telling you to go out and be a slut bag. I go, well, okay.
A slut bag.
Slut bag. So,
I think that you should be a slut bag.
Maybe I should.
Personally.
Maybe that's the decision.
I think the decision should just be yes rather than no.
Yeah, I do too. Because I've been very much about no. So I'm going to be more of a slut bag and more about yes.
I love that for you.
Okay.
So I had a reading too. We had back-to-back readings. And for mine, I focused on also career and love. And so I talked about my project, Moonblood, which everyone should get a hat for, if you can. And if you can't, you should share it. And you should
donate. That's the most important thing.
Come on this creative journey with me.
Yeah, she wrote a wonderful short film, and now she's trying to get it financed, and there's a director. I mean, there's people attached to it, so it's going to get made. But now she has a Kickstarter, and they're trying to get the budget for it, which she's willing to blow Newt for, but it probably...
And I'd be willing to blow you, too.
Oh,
for the right price.
Don't say that. Okay, say it.
I'm being facetious,
yeah.
but also a little bit serious.
A little bit serious. So just so you know, just check out Moonblood. If you don't, you can also just contribute, just to be part of the fun.
And shout out to Grant, who did contribute. Big shout out.
Grant. He's a sweetheart. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it was so sweet.
I know, it was so sweet.
So I talked about the project, and the reader said that it would be successful, but that I might have to give up maybe some of the IP rights, and I'm okay with that.
Explain what that is. Some people don't know.
Intellectual property, so that would be like the ownership of the creation and the conception of the project, which can be very valuable.
I told her not to give away anything.
But I'm open to giving away some, because it's my first thing.
I know.
So sometimes you have to get fucked in
No,
your ass on the first thing.
Okay. You know, in 30 years now, when they want to do Moonblood the musical, you have to make sure that you have the rights.
Yeah, I hear you. And I mean, I'm going to talk to a lawyer and stuff before I would agree to anything.
Yes, don't agree to anything.
So then we talked about love.
Okay.
He said I would meet someone in October.
That's right around the
That
corner.
would be, very soon.
Did he say where?
No.
Okay, he just said you're going to meet somebody, and that's what you should go with. Why did he say that, though? Just because of how it will work for you, or because that's what you want, or like what was his basis for that?
I don't really know. I think that was his psychic interpretation.
Okay. You know what'll be funny is like you can hear this now, and then 6 months from now, will it be true? Will these things have worked out? It's interesting. I don't know.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
I know. That's what's so tricky about him, and you don't know how much your own will contributed to the whole thing.
I agree, and that's a great question overall. How much will do you think does contribute to life? Maybe
I think a lot. But not everything.
You don't think there's predetermined fates?
No, but I think I guess that the universe has its own little plan. I do think that.
What do you mean?
Okay, meaning that you're sort of steered in a direction, but I think you create something by your will, and the universe does it with you. I don't think either one gets to completely rule. I think you co-create with the universe. That's what I think.
You share the IP.
You share the IP with the universe. Exactly. Very good, Benny. Bringing it back. So, I mean, I think that's what happens, because things do happen. Like you get a call and suddenly you're involved in something. But then you go ahead and try to make something happen. Like you're trying to make Moonblood happen. And if it does, a lot of that is your will. But then there's also the universe going, we'll give you these ideas. We'll give you the will to do it, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a combo. I think that's what it always feels like to me. Because when I've got projects made, I know I had a strong will to make it. But then the things that fall in line to help you are surprising.
Yeah.
And I think they come about because of your visualization and your drive and your intention. So, that's why I think you're going to get this made.
Thank you.
And then next year, we're going to do a kids show.
We have been working on it for a really long time.
Don't say the title.
Oh, I wouldn't dare to. But I think that it's feeling like exactly the right time.
I know, because when we first wrote it, it was at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah,
and
it was years ago.
It was, and it wasn't like, that wasn't its time. Because
no.
You also were going, okay, how on earth will we get this made? Nobody's going out of their house. Everyone's scared of germs, so it wasn't going to happen then. So we've both been just working on other things, but I sort of really started to see it lately.
Interesting.
I know. And I think doing a kids show, because really a kids show can be very subversive.
Yes.
And not a kids show, while looking like a kids show. So I think it's going to be like that.
I love it.
Secret stuff in the kids show. You know, something for the people that are high to watch.
Precisely.
Right?
A twisted.
I remember the first time I saw Mr. Rogers, and I was like, my jaw dropped. And I mean, I wasn't the one to discover its craziness, but it had been out there being what it was, and a lot of kids that were high found it. And I'm going, this is insane. And then I watched it a lot because it was so crazy in its sensibility and so sweet in the weirdest way too. So you're like, you don't see that combination.
No, not so. I feel like it was a vibe for a second, but it is coming back.
It is coming back. And he was very sincere in what he did. So I never saw the Tom Hanks movie, did you?
No.
I know, I didn't want to. I don't know why I didn't want to. Why didn't we want to? I didn't see him as Geppetto either. Did you?
No.
He's on Disney. He's in Pinocchio right now on Disney Plus.
I literally haven't heard a thing about that.
You don't know who Ava is. So, okay, Tom Hanks is playing Geppetto. And I'm like, when I saw that, I'm like, do I want to see that? Do I want to see Tom Hanks?
I think it's always a good idea when celebrities do Disney movies and stuff like that, because then they are solidifying themselves in the minds of children who haven't seen their things
I
in
know
their
there's a
peak
good
career.
thing for their career. But in some ways, Geppetto, when you look at it in different contexts, a little bit creepy. He makes a wooden boy in his workshop.
Who's his son?
Who comes to life. That's just a little bit, am I wrong? Is that a little bit creepy? Am I crazy? Oh, you didn't see the Bachelorette's finale, did you?
I didn't. But I saw it all. I saw it unravel on the internet.
Okay, and I texted you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched it, but it was such a train wreck. I feel like the franchise is over.
I feel like it's gone downhill completely since Clayton. Because what do I have to believe in?
No, Clayton was a doofus who picked 3 girls and then sent 2 of them home. And then they go, you two, we're going to rescue you from your heartbreak and make you, be able to have 30 men to choose from. And then they did it pretty badly. I mean, and Rachel, last night, you didn't watch it, she really came off as such a bitch.
Really?
Yeah, going after, what's his name? Tino? Who is such a fool. Tino, they go, Tino, she tells Gabby, she goes, Tino cheated on me. I'm like, what? And then they cut to it, and he's confessing that he kissed another girl. And I didn't realize kissing another girl was cheating. I mean, I know it's not good. And then I texted her, and she says, oh, yes, it is cheating. Okay, so now I know it's cheating.
Well, but was it this after they had committed to the engagement?
Yes, but then Rachel said, we were having problems, and that was the week that I told you I would go to therapy, and then I did go to therapy. So it's this confusing thing. Were they on a break like in Friends?
If they're on a break.
But they weren't. No one had designated that. No one had said the engagement's off. No one had said that. So he went somewhere and made out with some girl. And he had his notebook with it, his journal, and he's reading. He goes, but you said the engagement's off. He's reading from his journal. So first of all, if you have a boyfriend who's written down what you said and quoting it back to you, over. That's it. Goodbye. No more. I mean, and his hair looked really terrible because he was obviously, stressing from all this. But she was super mean to him. Like anything he said, she'd be like, why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that? And you should have said this. And this is what you meant. And there was a lot cut out. So you couldn't completely follow the argument. But then she handed him the ring at the end, which I know. It was great because he's a fool. I mean, he's like...
Is he a fool, though? Because she sounds like maybe she's a little bit unstable.
Okay, but here's the thing. No, he's not a fool for breaking up with her or whatever happened. But why would you go make out with another girl when you're in the midst of this TV show and you're one of the winners?
Well, if he wrote in his diary that she broke off the engagement, then maybe he thought they weren't together anymore.
No, she said, as I remember, she said, I can't wear this ring or something like that. She didn't really break off the engagement. But Tino was like, I guess that means broken off. I guess it's time for me to make out with someone else. But see, okay, explain to me how making out with another girl is cheating.
you're in a relationship with someone and the rules of the relationship are we are a monogamous couple who doesn't have sexual encounters with other people.
Is making out cheating?
If that's the rule that you've made in your relationship,
What if you never sat down and said making out is cheating? You just said.
If you did, when you were with Ken, did you make out with other guys that weren't? Yeah,
no.
there you go.
But we didn't make a rule.
Of course, it's a rule.
I mean, is it really that bad to make out with somebody?
If you're in a
you
are out of practice in relationships, my friend. If you think that if you're dating someone exclusively, you can just go around making out with other people.
I don't think you can, but is it worth trashing the entire relationship?
It sounds like they're two crazy people.
No, they were, but I'm just saying. Let's just say it's a normal relationship, and the person makes out with
If you're
somebody.
in a normal relationship, why is your partner making out with other people?
He's at a party, and he's drunk, and some girl comes on to him and starts trying to make out with him, and he goes along with it. Okay, is that enough to trash a relationship?
For me, yes. Because if that's not something we've spoken about...
I can't believe a person who's willing to blow Newt Gingrich has rules like this about making out.
This would be if I was in a relationship.
Okay. All right.
No relationship, no problem.
Okay, I get it.
But it's just, if you're comfortable with your partner making out with other people, that's okay.
I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not. But I guess I didn't think it was worth ending everything versus like talking about it or going to therapy about it.
If they were actually truly in love, it probably wouldn't be.
Okay.
If there was something worth saving, probably one of them would go, you know what, we were in like a really shitty place. I did this thing that was shitty. You did this thing that was shitty. Let's try again. But they're two crazy people who just want to be on TV.
Who are just on a TV show.
And that's another serious problem with The Bachelor right now, is that they have no way to weed through people who are like just... Everyone's there to be on TV on some level, but they're not weeding through legit crazy people who don't even care about being there.
I know.
Which makes the show not as fun.
No, because the guys used to really care, and now they're like, I'm going to get an acting career, like that guy Eric last night, the one Gabby picked.
Why would he even admit that?
Well, he got busted because of tweets to another girl. He goes, I'm going to go on this show. He was kind of dating her. He goes, so I can't really see you right now, but the show's not real, but I'm going to go on it because maybe I can do something else with my career. So, first of all, that gives him a big ick factor, right?
Major ick factor for Eric.
Major ick factor. And then Gabby did pick him, and he goes, I'm so sorry I did that. I didn't know I'd fall in love with the love of my life. He was trying to patch it up.
Do you think he really loves her, though?
I think he thinks he does, which is different. I think he thinks he does.
Because it's got to be intoxicating being on that show.
Oh, yeah. And then, they have the rose ceremonies, and then you're chosen. I mean, it's so stupid. And to think you can actually find love, I can't believe anybody actually has found love on that. It's just mind-blowing, right?
I mean, people can find love in any situation.
I guess so.
People could find love staying in a Motel 6 if you put enough people in one.
Yeah, you're right. I was in one during Christmas.
And you almost found love.
No, I didn't even come close. No.
Yeah, you did.
No.
He painted you. Oh, wait.
What are you talking
I was talking about the guy who painted you.
Painted me?
Yeah, when you were living in the hotel.
I don't know.
Are you having a mental break?
No, are you
the guy who had hotel coffee with you and gave you the painting.
That guy. Oh my God.
That was great.
That was a date. She's talking about a date I had that was horrible. I mean, the first date.
Horribly amazing.
No, we went to Descanso Gardens, which I thought, that's creative. It's like a, outside botanical garden. And I go, that's a creative first date. And it was on a Sunday. Then he goes, okay, how about I was staying in a hotel because my house was flooded. Everything I had was in a hotel and in Burbank. And he goes, oh, I feel bad you're in the hotel. Why don't I come by and bring you coffee? And I went, okay. So I meet him in the lobby, and he's late, first of all. And he says, I go, well, did you bring coffee? He goes, oh, I just figured we'd get the coffee here. I go, lobby coffee? So
lobby coffee.
We had lobby coffee, and he is some kind of artist, and he had a painting of me. He said it was me that he had made, and it was a redheaded woman in lingerie, and it was horrible. And he gave it to me, and then I said, okay, I gotta go. And then I was trying to figure out what this is Obi. See how
Obi,
big
don't.
he is? Obi, stop. I was trying to figure out what
Obi,
his
don't do that,
game
please.
plan was, and I think he expected me to invite him up to the room, right? In a hotel.
I don't know.
I
I think
don't-
our energy is fading.
I think it is. Obi's taking over the program. Blowjobs.
We have to do that. We have to say goodbye.
Oh, okay. Goodbye, everybody. Make sure and subscribe, and we will be here. We're not going to give up, because no matter what job Benny gets fired from, no matter what I'm doing, we will be here. Bye.
We still next episode we have to talk about how I'm working at the racist salon.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. The racist salon. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
I think it's funny.